The teams are back out on the field, but we're going to show you a couple of the plays of the first half of a 7-0 ball game, and perhaps what keyed the tone of this first half. Burt Jones not having one of his better days. An interception by Eric Williams here.
Yes, and you were right, Dick. This did not set up a touchdown, but Eric Williams' interception set the tempo for the St. Louis defense. This did set up a touchdown. Hart to Mel Gray down close, and of course Otis Anderson took it in for the touchdown, and you're seeing it right now. Good blocking. Big Otis goes in 7-0, and that's the score right now.
That was his 4th touchdown rushing of the season, and the Cardinals have kept the Colts at bay. As you look at the stats again, that's not incorrect. That is absolutely right. 36 total yards for the Baltimore Colts. When was the last time Burt Jones was 6 for 18? The possession time was kind of even. Cardinals are just playing a solid football game this afternoon, but there's 30 minutes to go. And as you know from your experiences, John, when a game is close and a team is not playing well, as the Colts are really not doing what they normally do, you really wish you had a bigger lead than the 7, would you?
That's right. One big play here for the Colts could spark them, and who knows, we could bust through here with 2 or 3 touchdowns by either team. And it was a defensive battle, but pro football changes from minute to minute, mood to mood, day to day, and temperature to temperature as it's going down.
It's going down. The lights have been on here at Memorial Stadium, and you talk about the mood of the team as Micah Meyer tees the ball up. The Colts, of course, will go on offense. Willard Harrell is back there. There you see the Maryland sky here late in the afternoon. Last week, the Cardinals were about as down as you could get with the Steve Little accident on Friday and the injuries. We'll take it out on the 20. Roy Green receiving that kickoff, a touchback. But they had a better week this week. And I'll say one thing, the Cardinals didn't alibi after last week's game. The coach didn't, the offensive line, Dan Deerdorf didn't.
That's right. I think the quote was, we stunk up the joint, and there weren't any St. Louis fans that disagreed. But so far today, they've done very well.
Jim Hart, 7 for 13 for 50 yards, but it's not been so much the number of passes, but the key passes. Mel Gray, 85, wide left. Tilley, 83, split right. 1st and 10 at the 20. We're underway here in the 3rd quarter of Memorial Stadium. And a play action. Screen pass to Tilley, and he's nailed right away by number 42, Derek Hatchett. You know, the Texas Longhorns had 3 of their 4 secondary men from last year picked high in the draft, and Hatchett is having a brilliant year, taking on the 1st round.
That was the same play that Tilley broke for about 40 yards. It was called back on a penalty. That short hitch pattern where the receiver takes 1 step, backs off about a second, and takes it and tries to peel inside the defensive back. So
Cleveland, as you saw, coming back within 6 points of Pittsburgh. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line. On a draw to Wayne Morris, who's averaged over 5 yards per carry in the first half, picks up a few, and Fred Cook leads a charge that drives him back. Consistent, steady Wayne Morris has held off the charge of 2nd-year player Theodis Brown, who now comes into the game as a receiver coming out of the backfield. As you see the way this play was plugged up.
A little draw action play, and Morris found no room, so he just kept the legs going, trying to get an extra few. He got a little ticked off there. They were trying to reach in and steal the ball from him.
Dave Stieff is in the game, as is Theodis Brown. 5 defensive backs. Kim Anderson, the nickelback for the Colts. 3rd and 8 at the 22. Hart under pressure. Watch out from behind. He gets it off to Tilley, but short of a 1st down. Penalty marker in addition, and that could be important. Penalty marker thrown. Bruce Laird makes the stop on Tilley, and it is going to be a face mask, which instead of a 4th down and punting situation for the Cardinals, it'll be an automatic 1st down.
I think it was accidental, as you're going to look at the Cardinals on their offensive pattern here. Tilley's on the inside with Gray on the outside. He gets the bang, which is legal up to 5 yards, makes the grab, and here comes Laird reaching for him, and he got the jersey. It didn't look like the face mask to me.
You know, Laird didn't believe it. He was down on the ground and he looked up. He didn't believe it.
I don't know if we'll be able to see from this angle. So far, he has not touched the face mask. It's the jersey, and the official was right on the call there, and he was wrong.
1st and 10 at the 34. Mel Gray coming in motion. The pitch, Otis Anderson tries to cut inside. Tell you, they're playing him so well. Number 56, Ed Simonini, the middle linebacker. As you mentioned, he did gain 30 yards, Anderson did in the first half, but his average yards per carry not very high. And the Colts have played the run well. It'll be 2nd and 8. Cardinals starting out at the 36-yard line. Opening minutes, third quarter here in Baltimore. Cardinals leading Baltimore 7-0. Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris. The NFL on CBS this afternoon.
2nd and 8 at the 36.
Gray goes left. Stieff wide right. Hart has Anderson out of the backfield. He gets away from one man, maintains his balance, and Otis Anderson is out of bounds, and he picked up some extra yards. Ed Simonini came in there, but the man he knocked away was Mike Woods. That's the second time for him.
Woods saw this play coming. 59 at the bottom of your screen on the left. He saw Otis Anderson. He was watching. He waited for the pass, but the offensive lineman came out and forced Woods to go just a little bit wide, and Anderson did a good job of maintaining his balance, dipped to the outside, and makes a nice play for a first down for St. Louis before Simonini was in on the tackle.
Third and 4 actually could have been much worse for Jim Hart.
I'm sorry about that. I thought he got the first down.
Well, then maybe they will on this play. Hart, he's going to go long. Hart going long for Mel Gray. He has it. Now they have the first down, Johnny. But there's a penalty marker. Is there? Let's see. No, there is no penalty marker. It is a first down. Derek Hatchett. And the big play of the game for the Cardinals. Mel Gray on the receiving end, a 36-yard play, and 1st and 10 inside the 25.
A big play. They hadn't thrown to Gray since very early in the first quarter. The Colts put the blitz on. St. Louis picks it up. Hart just winds up, and a perfect pass, a little bit over and a little to the outside, and Gray adjusts nicely and takes it and is forced out of bounds by Hatchett, but a nice execution by all parties concerned for St. Louis. Mel Gray, his 5th pass reception of the game.
Tilley's been the leading receiver for the Cardinals, but Gray solidly in second place right now. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Hart in the air finds Tilley wide open, and Tilley is hit immediately, but not before the Cardinals pick up 7 yards. Nesby Glasgow, second year from the University of Washington, makes the play. So Hart, this is where experience pays off.
It certainly does, and the Cardinals are making real good use of the 2 wide receivers on the same side, Tilley and Gray. As you look at Atlanta now leading Los Angeles in the 4th quarter. 13-10, Bartkowski to Alfred Jackson. 13-10 Atlanta, 54-yard pass.
2nd and 3 at the 17. Gray and Tilley split left. Cardinals leading 7-0. Penalty marker down. And it was Wayne Morris on the carry. Looked like the Colts went over, but maybe they were drawn. Offside against St. Louis. It's what you don't want inside that close.
That's true. I was about to say a moment ago, with Tilley and Gray on the same side, Baltimore is not doing too much in the way if they can't double them too much, and so they're getting a lot of man-for-man coverage, at least on the medium to short-range passes, and it's a good tactic for St. Louis. The Colts have not been able to cover it.
63 defense, offside.
Well, they changed it. Mike Barnes. They first signaled St. Louis offside, and it was Mike Barnes. So it's 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Hart, 12 for 18 for 104 yards and 1 interception. Cardinals can get a first down without scoring. Keep that in mind. Wide receiver split left. 7-0 St. Louis. Morris runs into a stone wall. Back to the line of scrimmage at best. Mike Barnes, number 63. Last week, John Hanna said Barnes is still the best. 8-year veteran from the University of Miami. Orvis and Barnes. Ozdowski's played a good game, and Fred Cook. But the strength of the Colts defense is the back 7, the linebackers in the secondary. There's Mike. 2nd and 8 now. Ball just beyond the 10.
You now have Tilley and Gray to the short side of the field at the top of your screen. Now man in motion.
Tilley comes towards you, and cuts to the middle.
Oh, is
and
he
Hart
open?
has it, and it's batted down. Cook and Ozdowski were there, and you're right. He all of a sudden stopped and went the other way. It was wide open down the middle.
Gee, that's kind of a nice play. He came in motion, went back across the grain, and he was wide open. Had not Cook deflected that pass, Tilley would have had a touchdown or at least a first down right near the goal line.
So you got the piece of the ball, third down.
Now look for Tilley up at the top of your screen. You're going to see Cook, number 72, reach up there and deflect the ball. There's Tilley right there, 83 to the left side. He was wide open.
Pretty good pattern. 3rd and 9. Kim Anderson in. 5 defensive backs. 3rd and 9 at the 11 for the Cardinals. Trying to add to their 7-0 lead. Hart under pressure. Flips it. Well, catch by Tilley. Penalty marker down. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. But we'll wait and see what the penalty is. And that is a miraculous catch by Pat Tilley. One-handed going away. But let's see what the call is.
Defensive holding.
Is holding against the Colts, a touchdown. A whale of a catch by Pat Tilley, and the Cardinals lead 13-0. I like to see this several times.
Yes, that was a super catch. As you see, Hart is under some pressure. Tilley's coming back across, and he'll reach back. Here comes Barnes. He gets it off, reaches back with one hand like that, brings it right in. That's glue. He must have a lot of stickum on. I'll tell you what, Bruce Laird is hanging on him as he goes into the end zone. Touchdown, and the extra point is good.
O'Donohue kicks it. Tilley with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season with an incredible catch. Not so much that it was one-handed, but it was a backhanded one-handed play, and it's 14-0 now. I've never seen that kind of a catch.
That was a beautiful. Oh, yeah. I can't tell. Does he have
What?
gloves on?
This was supposed to be a route for the Colts. It's not turning out that way. Right.
He must have 37 catches now.
Look at this touchdown pass reception by Tilley here.
And as you mentioned, he has to do it with the opposite hand, brings it on down, takes control, goes into the end zone, and you have to give some credit to Jim Hart. He didn't throw it too hard, because if it was real hard, it would have been a difficult. But watch him just loop it up there for him. And then Tilley with the circus catch brings it right in. Wasn't that nice?
80 yards in 10 plays. O'Donohue will kick off, so we have the makings of a big upset this afternoon. The Cardinals leading 14-0. O'Donohue kicks one down the middle on the ground, and it hops off the hand of Glasgow. Glasgow at the 20 and gets to the 21. Well, the Cardinals have to be an aroused football club because McIntyre made the tackles. You look at the scoring drive. Cardinals are turned this thing around from week to week. As we said, we don't know what'll happen, but they're certainly vastly improved from a week ago.
That was a nice drive. 10 plays for 80 yards. Those are the kind that you want. You eat up 4 minutes on the clock and you put the team deeper in a hole. The Colts have to be careful now. A mistake could really get them in a big hole.
Curtis Dickey, number 27, teams with Cleveland Franklin in the backfield. Dickey, the rookie from Texas A&M. Play action pass. Jones under pressure again. Fires, and it's complete to the 36-yard line. Ray Butler makes the reception. Carl Allen defending, and Jones looks like his right hand or arm is hurt. Cardinals keep coming.
They certainly do, as Jones goes out of the pocket and was about to take off and run, and he saw Butler break open, so he just threw on the run, did a good job, and then took the hit from Steve Niels. He took his punishment. He earned the reception. Another look at it. Here comes Niels.
Cardinals blitzing very well this afternoon. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Dickey trying to find an opening, slips. Picked up a yard and a half.
Curtis Dickey on a carry.
That's it. Rush Brown was the man. He has a good name, doesn't he, for a defensive lineman? Rush Brown.
Yeah, he wouldn't be good against the run. He's got to be good against the pass with that name. Rush Brown from Ball State, 10th round draft choice. Cardinals have good young people, 6'2", 257. 2nd and 8 at the 38. Movement in the line. Getting to the 41-yard line. But there was movement. And right now, I'd have to say the Colts are a disorganized club.
They've had a lot of penalties today, a lot of penalties.
They're just out of sync right now as Joe Washington comes back in the game and Dickey goes out.
Illegal motion, 75 offense.
George Coons. Cleveland has taken the lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 27-26. Brian Sipe to his tight end Ozzie Newsome. 5:38 remaining in that game. That is Sipe's 4th touchdown pass of the game, 2 to Greg Pruitt. Right here at 2nd and 12 at the 33. Deep drop for Jones. He fires off the hands of Joe Washington, and the Baltimore Colts can't do anything right this afternoon, and the Cardinals are helping make it so.
They actually called the right play that time because the Cardinals double covered both outside receivers, and then you've got to go to a back or a tight end, and they had Washington out of the backfield, and the mechanics were right, except that he didn't catch the pass. And I'd hate to count how many passes the Colts have dropped today.
You just can't get it started, and you thought perhaps that at halftime they would straighten things out, but it hasn't worked that way as Calvin Favron and Stafford Mays come in. Reese McCall is out of the ball game, and Brian DeRue, number 87, is in there. 31-13 Buffalo. Now leading the New England Patriots. So Buffalo headed for a tie in that division. We'll talk more about that. And more pressure, and down goes Jones again. Curtis Greer coming in once more. Mays is there as well. 7th time that he's been sacked. After 7 games, Jones had been sacked 9 times, and now 7 in this game alone, Johnny.
And he runs right over Wade Griffin, 69, the left tackle. You can see throwing the block. Joe Washington dips outside, and here comes Wade Greer, 75, in for the sack. Curtis Greer.
The Colts are just being outplayed at every phase by the Cardinals right now. Mike Bragg will punt from the 7-yard line. Mark Bell is the center man of the 3-man, and a fair catch called for just about at midfield. Now the Cardinals are getting field position and everything else, and Jones can't understand what's going on. We do have a final score. Washington beat New Orleans 22-14. We showed you Buffalo leading New England 31-13. The Cardinals dominating here. Well, the linebackers, Arneson.
The linebacker, Carney's done well. Arneson.
Eric Williams.
Eric Williams. I would say I think Carney's done real well,
Right.
and Arneson.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's really been divided. I don't think one guy has done it. Atlanta beat L.A.
Did they?
13-10. I got Atlanta Buffalo next week. That doesn't look like a bad game, does it?
No, it looks good.
But the Cards have the ball anyway. Well, the races are tightening up around the National Football League. Atlanta defeated Los Angeles. Look at that, sacks. The St. Louis offensive line supposed to be porous. Cardinals have sacked Burt Jones 7 times.
And he had only been sacked 9 times going into this game.
There are 2 of the big people there, huh? 2 of the linebackers, Williams and Carney.
Yes.
Good field position for Jim Hart, 1st and 10. Cardinals at their own 49. 8:42 remaining, 3rd quarter. Play action freezes the linebackers. The pass is complete. The pass is complete to Mel Gray, still on his feet and upended inside the 20. And he did a tightrope job down the sidelines before Larry Brazil makes the tackle. Checking to see whether he's all right there, but a fine pattern, 35-yard gain, and the Cardinals threatening again.
You're going to see Gray. He's up there at the top of your screen. He comes across the field. Good play action pass. The Colt rush doesn't get there in time, and he hits him. Woods almost knocked the ball down there, but there was Gray catching the ball, turning it on for at least his 6th catch of the game. Little old straight arm from the little guy on the outside. Let's hope he's not hurt too seriously.
And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Belgrade being tended to at the sidelines, and the Cardinals in great shape. Not now, because the Cardinals are driving, but we ought to show them because they create ties in 2 divisions. Right. Bell is in there.
He's going out.
Bell replaces Gray. All right. I'm going to come out with what Gray's done today. But we'll do that after. Let's see. We won't want to. Yeah, that's perfect. Mel Gray, who earlier in the game extended his consecutive pass-catching streak to 97, a Cardinal record, is out of action now. That's what he's done today, setting up some good scores.
He has 6 grabs, and Tilley has 5. That's 11 for the 2 wide receivers.
Mark Bell, number 81, replaces Gray in the lineup. 1st and 10 at the 18 for St. Louis, leading 14-0 and driving for more. Here's Wayne Morris. He falls down, and that prevents him from gaining anything. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Fred Cook. Final scores: Atlanta defeated Los Angeles 13-10. Bartkowski to Alfred Jackson with 1:15 to go decided that game. And Buffalo defeated New England 31-13. So now the Patriots and Bills are tied for 1st in the AFC East, and the Rams and Falcons are tied for 1st in the NFC West. 2nd and 9 at the 17. Wide receivers to the left. That's Bell and Tilley. Hart getting some pressure, fires, knocked away, intended for Bell. Defending was Brazil.
Well, what happened on that one was that Otis Anderson and Bell got awfully close together, and it's tough to complete a pass when you have receivers a couple of yards apart. As you're going to see now, you'll see 2 men in the same zone. There's 32, Otis Anderson. One of them ran the wrong pattern, or didn't run his pattern quite the right way.
So the down-by-down substitution, depending on down and yardage. Marsh and Morris are out. Theotis Brown comes in along with Dave Stieff, and the nickel defense in the secondary. Nickel back for the Baltimore Colts. 3rd and 9 at the 17. Cardinals already in good field goal position, and Hart dumps it off to Otis Anderson. Anderson is tackled. He's short of a 1st down, but he is to the 12-yard line. Sanders Shiver makes the play. And Hart was hit hard by Herb Orvis way back.
And Otis is complaining that it was a face mask. He said he hit him right around the helmet. Let's watch number 32, Otis Anderson. Out of the backfield, out into the flat, makes the grab on the run. That's the way you want him to catch you, on the move. And here comes the hit. Boy, that's close, isn't it? He did really hit him up the side of the head, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He had reason to complain. Neil O'Donoghue in there with Worley holding a 30-yard field goal attempt, his 2nd of the game, and the kick is good. So O'Donoghue, with his 1st field goal in a Cardinal uniform, puts St. Louis up now 17-0 with 6 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, and a shocking ball game with St. Louis thoroughly dominating the Colts.
Okay. Let's see, who's the trainer for St. Louis?
It's a tough name to pronounce.
Is that him? Is that him?
Yes. He was feeling his oats last night. Yeah.
Is that him? Oh,
Omohundro.
he's gone now.
Fortunately for you.
Glasgow and Anderson deep. O'Donoghue to kick off.
Mel Gray has a sprained right wrist, out of action.
There he's putting his gloves back on. It looks like he's planning on playing. I always wonder how they catch the ball with the gloves. They never used to do that in the old days.
You didn't do that. Line drive kick headed toward the sidelines. And it's going to bounce right on the goal line. And Glasgow pushes it inside. Said, I'll gladly take the touchback on O'Donoghue's kickoff. Couple of final scores. Green Bay defeated Minnesota 16-3 today. As you look at the Cardinals scoring drive, they have had tremendous ball control here in the second half. Dickey through to Paul Kaufman. 16-3 the final score. So the Packers now 3-4-1. Minnesota 3-5, and the Packers doing much better than people anticipated.
The Packers could be 4-3. They really blew a game against Cleveland on the last play of the game last week.
Yeah, I was there, and they had outplayed the Browns. 1st and 10, Colts at their 20. Jones fires to Carr out of bounds. Picks up perhaps 6 yards. Another final score. The Denver Broncos defeated the New York Giants 14-9. Closer than a lot of people had anticipated, especially some people from the Midwest.
Let's take a look at Roger Carr as we change the subject. He comes down on Carl Allen, just does the simple short out, which is about 5 yards, and no chance to turn up the field. It's a second down situation, 2nd and 5.
Butler and Carr wide to the left after that 5-yard pickup. 6:21 remaining third quarter. Up the middle goes the fullback Cleveland Franklin.
Carries across the 30.
Sat out last year. Cut by the Philadelphia Eagles prior to that. The tackle made by Bob Pollard. First down for Baltimore. The Colts are trailing now 17-0. A lot of time though. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Anderson with a 4-yard touchdown run. No scoring in the second quarter. Hart to Tilley, who made a great catch for the second Cardinal touchdown. O'Donoghue with a 30-yard field goal. Play action. Jones fires. Carr, was he inbounds? He was. 42-yard line, another first down. The short pattern to the sideline with his favorite receiver, Roger Carr, working here for Burt Jones.
Carl Allen on the coverage. He'll give him that short one. He's not going to let him beat him deep. They have more of a tendency to play deeper when you're ahead 17-0 because you don't want somebody to get behind you. But Carr has his 2 feet 1. Ooh.
Close.
I didn't see 2 feet inside.
Close. At the 41, 1st and 10. That's what Carr has done this afternoon. Franklin. Good play by Franklin as he barrels and twists his way to the 46-yard line.
For about 5 yards.
One thing the Cardinals don't want to do is give up any cheap score.
Along with Nelson.
5:25 remaining third quarter. Gain of about 4, so it'll be 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line. Cardinals have dominated this game. Colts have not been able to generate any kind of rushing offense, and many of the passes have either been dropped or broken up. A tough day for Burt Jones, but he's the kind of guy who can come alive at any time. Second back through is Washington. Tries to dive for the first down. He may be short by less than a yard, but we'll wait. It is third down. Eric Williams, Tim Carney, and Mark Arneson. You can give credit to all of those Cardinal linebackers today. Bill Acker comes in now. And Williams goes out. 2 tight ends on short yardage for the Colts. Reese McCall, Mac Alston. Johnny?
And the Cardinals now have 4 rushmen in.
Acker the 4th, number 67. 3rd and 1 at midfield. Washington has the first down and more. And it was Tim Carney who had a one-handed grab of him. But the Colts have a first down, and they are in St. Louis territory. 17-0. 4 minutes and 10 seconds with the clock running. Third quarter.
I think you were right when you said that there's plenty of time left, and I think the Colts are realize that. So far, they haven't tried to throw it up and go for the bomb on one play. They have a drive going, a sustained drive. They have well over a quarter to go, so it's not over.
No, and to their credit, Jones isn't panicking and saying, let's get one in a hurry. He knows he has the time. Marvin Sims, 39, and Curtis Dickey are the backs now as Jones fires complete to Roger Carr to the other sideline and out of bounds and a first down. And now Jones is ever the surgeon. Roger Worley defending as he's picking apart the Cardinals secondary on this drive, which is their best of the day by far.
Roger Carr against Roger Worley. The two Rogers down and dips to the outside, and there's not much a defensive back can do except hit the man after he catches the ball unless he wants to take a risk. And when you're ahead 17-0, you just don't have a tendency to do that.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Colts at the St. Louis 33-yard line. Carr wide left. He's been the target in this drive. Ray Butler, number 80, wide right. Sims and Dickey, the backs. Jones looking for Butler, and he had it and dropped it. He had it and dropped it right in the numbers, defended by Lee Nelson. But Jones is going back saying, I don't need that now because we have a good drive going.
Butler incomplete. Lee Nelson on the coverage.
Well, that time Butler looked just a little late. Jones decided to hit him between the zones. As Nelson was covered to cover deep, Allen was short, so he zipped in between the two backs, and Butler looked at the last second just a little late, and the ball hit him. He did not catch the ball. If he had hung on to some of the passes that have been thrown to him, the Colts would be in better shape now.
Gerard Williams, number 29, who was activated this week, played at Dallas, San Francisco, and the World Football League is in there, and Joe Washington gets to the 30-yard line for just a couple. Gerard Williams, number 29, fifth-year player out of Langston, replaced Carl Allen for that one play. Let's see if Allen comes back.
Rush Brown on the tackle.
Rush Brown makes the tackle on Joe Washington. 3rd and 8. This is an important play for Burt Jones.
Certainly is. If they don't make it on this drive, they'll be in a little trouble.
Clock running, 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go, third quarter. Carr wide right, Butler split left. Reese McCall is replaced by Brian DeRue. 3 wide receivers for the Baltimore Colts, and Jones in trouble, and he's going to be decked again. That's the 8th sack of the game, and he's tackled back at the 35-yard line. He couldn't find an open receiver, and Curtis Greer with his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Boy, they just come in at the right time, don't they?
They brought Mark Arneson, number 57, and of course number 39, Marvin Sims, had to pick him up. He does pick him up, but Arneson showed some real persistence here as he wheels out. Jones tried to go, and there was the play by Curtis Greer.
And he slid off a block by Wade Griffin.
Wade Griffin's had a rough day.
Jones on the sideline, and that's one thing the Colts didn't want to do, is use up a lot of time and come up empty-handed.
You have to credit some St. Louis defense down the field too, because Jones did have some time there for a moment.
Ken Stone is deep, and at midfield, Mike Bragg. He's going to the sidelines. Twisting kick, and it's out of bounds inside the 15. But the Cardinals held, and that's the big thing, because for the first time this afternoon, the Colts showed a semblance of an offense, but they didn't score, and the Cardinals still lead at 17-0 with 2:14 to go in the third.
John, can we take a shot of Tom Bettis over there, because his defensive game plan has been real good.
Yep, that's a good point.
I got to find him here.
All right, we can get him sometime during
he's talking.
One of the big surprises of the ball game, the St. Louis of the season of the game, the Baltimore Colts trailing the Cardinals 17-0 with 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in this third quarter. This could be one of the shockers, if not the big upset of the day. Cardinals, Jim Hart has it 1st and 10 at the 14. He's completed 15 of 23 for 154 yards. Has not been sacked today. And Pat Tilley is in motion. 1 touchdown pass. There's that screen. They're going to keep working on that till it goes. And that didn't go. Mel Gray back in the game. As you anticipated when you saw him over the sideline, Hatchett was right there with him.
I'll say one thing, Jim Hart's not holding anything back. You'd think they would run the ball maybe on this series to eat up some time and play it safe, but you can see Mel Gray come back for the short pass, but good reaction and good coverage as Derek Hatchett comes up and everybody else, and Mel Gray is not going to get away that time.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 at the 12. Inside handoff goes to Otis Anderson for a couple. I think it's smart that they don't go into the shell because there is a lot of time, and with Jones things can explode in a hurry. I think you have to play your normal game. It'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8. Mark Bell and Theodis Brown come in as they have all afternoon in passing situations. San Francisco's on the scoreboard. Freddie Solomon, a 53-yard punt return, gives the 49ers a 7-0 lead over Tampa Bay. Game just started. 3rd and 8 at the 16. Hart. And there it is. First sack of the day, Herb Orvis, number 88, decked him. And now the Colt fans come alive because they can sense some real good field position following a punt coming up.
Herb Orvis, who doesn't have too many sacks this year, but he has a lot of hurries, and this time he hurried right on through. As you can see, number 88, as he got by number 60, Barney Cotton, and then just kept the pressure on. Hart couldn't find anybody, and a good play by Herb Orvis. Fine play.
Normally he plays the run better than the pass, but he was right in there, and Swider is like 8 yards in his end zone, and Nesby Glasgow is at the 40. The Colts coming on, and a good kick by Swider. Perhaps the best of the day, and Glasgow back in his own territory, and he's going to be stopped at midfield, and that is a big play for the Cardinals.
Boy, it certainly was. They're going to have a first down in their own territory, and nobody would have believed that when you see your punter 8 yards in his own end zone.
47-yard punt, a 2-yard return. Steve Niels and Ken Stone back there, and the Cardinals, who have had problems in the punting game in the coverage area, have certainly shored up that deficiency this afternoon because the Colts have not been able to get much back. 1st and 10 at the 49. That's the Colts 49 with 12 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Jones to Roger Carr. He has it, a first down at the 35-yard line. Carl Allen. And you can see the quick, speedy pattern of Roger Carr, and they like to go to each other. Jones to Carr. There's the gun. And that'll end the 3rd quarter. So the Cardinals still leading. The Colts on the move, and they have to get on the board before they do any damage. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The St. Louis Cardinals 17, the Baltimore Colts nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station. I don't. Maybe Johnny does. He's an old wide receiver, and I say old.
Have you got him? Is he isolated? What? Let's see.
That's all right.
Yeah, let's show it, because look at, if you go back, I'll show you the key to this play. Who's 60? The thing was, as you can see, there was a lane right here for him to throw the ball
Huff.
through.
Ken
You
Huff.
see that? Right there, Ken
Huff.
Yeah.
You're going to
Okay.
come right out to this?
Okay.
Oh.
The key to this was having an open spot right there for Burt Jones, the lane to throw the quick post or quick slant in.
Start of the fourth quarter. Burt Jones going to the air, batted up by Pollard. That's the second time Bob Pollard has gotten a piece of that ball. So it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 35. Start of the fourth period. Dick Stockton along with Johnny Morris here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Great pressure by the Cardinals all day.
Number 82, the left defensive end. He comes into the inside, then dips to the outside, watches the quarterback, and then times his leap. He sees him ready to throw, and there it is. And the trajectory was normal. It was just a good play by Bob Pollard, number 82.
6'3", but he gets up there. 2nd and 10. Roger Carr wide left. Ray Butler split right. Secondary comes up to the line. Jones. Arneson was upended, and a pass is complete at the 20-yard line by Ray Butler. And that was a good catch by Butler, who's dropped several right in his hands today. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, and Mark Arneson was upended by that offensive line by the Colts. 57.
He tried to come over Pratt. You're going to see number 57 coming to the picture right now. Watch him take a nice little ride up and over, dipsy-do, and then Burt Jones spots Butler across the field, hits him on the dime. 1st down, Baltimore.
Not a bad day for Ray.
5 catches for 79.
More.
Yeah, could be a few more.
Rush Brown is in the game. Yankowski is out. And there's a fine play. Tim Carney stormed across on an inside handoff to Joe Washington. And Washington has not gotten on track this afternoon.
Sometimes blitzes are more effective against the run than the pass. And that was really, you think, well, Carney diagnosed the play. Well, he was coming across the line of scrimmage and ran right into the play. As you see, Curtis Greer, who has 3 sacks today. Rush Brown's playing more.
Stafford Mays has been in there, the number 9 draft choice, for a couple of plays. 2nd and 13 at the 23. Carr to the left, Butler to the right. Jones needs points, and getting a rush from Curtis Greer, decides to run with it and goes out of bounds, picking up maybe 4 or 5. Well, that Curtis Greer. Chase Jones from behind. Opening moments, fourth quarter, 17-0. The Cardinals lead the Colts.
Did you think, I thought I detected Burt Jones giving Lee Nelson a little signal about don't hit me, I'm going out of bounds there. Did you notice that? He put his hand up and said there's no need to hit me.
No need, I'm heading out of bounds. Calvin Favron, number 59. Stafford Mays, 76, is in there now as Williams and Carney goes out. That's Joe Washington, the leading rusher, 5th in the AFC coming into this game. He won't be 5th after this game. 3rd and 7 at the 17. Jones going deep for Roger Carr, over his head, and he was covered there by Roger Worley. Roger Carr and Roger Worley going at it. A final score, the Cleveland Browns defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-26. At one point it was 20-7 in favor of Pittsburgh. Brian Sipe threw 3 touchdown passes in the second half, 4 in the game. The winning score with 5:38 to go to Ozzie Newsome, 18 yards, and now the Browns have taken a lead in the Central Division of the AFC, and Pittsburgh is back to 500, 4-4. Field goal attempt right now by Steve Mickemeyer from 35 yards. It's good, and the Colts finally get on the board. Mickemeyer with a 35-yard field goal, and it's now 17-3. But I'll say one thing, the Cardinals' defense is fierce as ever, even on this drive, where the Baltimore finally gets some points.
Okay, John, there's Tom Bettis is in the white jacket with the cord sticking out. He's on about the 40-yard line, walking towards the 50. He's walking back. He's got his back to us now. No. He's to the... Hey, we lost our monitor. He's got on a white jacket and he's got his back to us. He's at the 43 of St. Louis. 43. St. Louis. He's got his back to us.
We don't have the picture, right?
We have no picture here.
Well, we won't.
He's behind Hannafin, yeah.
We won't. Don't put it on because we have no monitors. So
our monitors are out.
Willard Harrell and Roy Green are deep for the Cardinals as Mickemeyer will kick off. 13 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Baltimore on Mickemeyer's 35-yard field goal on the scoreboard. The Cardinals lead at 17-3, and they'll have to kick from 5 back. Mickemeyer's kick goes out of bounds on the far side, and they'll kick it off from the 30. There it is again.
Kickoff out of bounds, 5-yard penalty.
So the 5-yard penalty, and Mickemeyer will kick again. Cardinals trying to stay ahead of the Colts. They lead 17-3, looking for their 3rd win in 8 games. With the Dallas Cowboys coming into Busch Stadium next week. Line drive kick picked up by Harrell. Harrell showing some speed, getting outside of the 30. Harrell falls down, and he might have picked up another 10 yards if he had been able to turn the corner, and we have some problems on the field. Just for the moment, Randy Love and Lyle Blackwood. That little set two. So the Cardinals will go on offense, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Plenty of time.
13 minutes and 6 seconds left in this game. I think the last 3 series that the Cardinals have had the ball, they have thrown on 1st down. Let's see if they do this time.
Chris Combs, number 80, the rookie tight end, is in there. Tilly 83 wide right. Mel Gray split to the left, and Otis Anderson is the lone setback for Jim Hart. And Anderson gets the call. Can't go anywhere. Back to the line of scrimmage is all. Mike Woods, the right side linebacker, makes the tackle. Otis Anderson scored the first Cardinal touchdown from 4 yards out. Came into the game 3rd in the conference in scoring and has averaged 90 yards a game rushing. It'll be 2nd and 9 at the 34.
That's not bad, averaging 90 yards a game when you've had so many injuries in the offensive line. A running back is so dependent on the coordination of those 5 men in that line, and of course the tight end too.
2 tight ends, same formation. Lone setback is Anderson. Play action this time, and Hart is looking medium, and it's almost intercepted. Derek Hatchett was there. Combs appeared to be the intended receiver, but was not really near the play, and apparently he ran the wrong route. That's the only thing I would think as the rookie, as he talked things over with Tilly going back to the huddle, and Hatchett almost had himself an interception.
Well, that's the kind of play that could have put Baltimore right back in the ball game. Hang on to that. They've got a 1st down in St. Louis territory. Break for St. Louis.
Theotis Brown and Dave Stieff come in as Marsh and Combs, the 2 tight ends, go out. 3rd and 9 at the 34 for Jim Hart. 17-3. Cardinals lead the Colts. The makings of a big upset here. Hart double pumps and was hit just as he was about to release. Looked like Fred Cook got a hand on his throwing arm. It'll be incomplete, 4th down, and Larry Swider, who has really boomed a couple after having a rough start in this game, will come in and kick, and Cook, Johnny on the spot inside, and now the Colts with a lot of time could generate something here, so let's hang in. There's Swider. Glasgow is standing at his 30. That's how the Colts see it. Good kick, a boomer by Larry Swider, and that is passed, and it's touched by Glasgow, and it's in the end zone, and Glasgow is going to run out of it. Glasgow runs out of the end zone for a touchback. It is a touchback. He handled it and then ran out. Good thing he did have control and run out, because if he loses the ball, it could be a touchdown.
Well, the ruling was that he never gained control until he got in the end zone. Right. We'll take a look at this kick, a beautiful kick. As Glasgow went way back and tried to catch it over his head, which is sometimes can be very difficult.
66 yards.
Never had control, took it into the end zone. Had he gained control and then fumbled into the end zone, then you would have had a safety.
Right. All right, we'll be back in a moment.